Trey Lance is ready to start, according to Kyle Shanahan. Another thing they've been saying is they're going to hold on to Jimmy. They're not going to cut Jimmy because there's a market for Jimmy. The only reason they couldn't trade him for what they wanted is because he's hurt. He's got the shoulder surgery. They're going to wait, and they're going to get what they're pretty much saying everything's going to work out. Stop panicking. He's going to get healthy. They'll trade him. Is the shoulder surgery the only reason that there's no market, that the Niners received 0 offers for Jimmy Garoppolo? Is that the only deterrent here? Coach, you go first.
No, I think it's a multitude of things. It's not just a shoulder. It's how well or how bad he plays. He's not as good as it's his contract. It's it would count $25 million against the cap for a team. I think if he was like $8 million, $10 million, I think they probably would have a deal. But it's like it's a combination of things. So you have to pay a chunk of your cap space for him. You get an average, an okay quarterback who is injured right now, and then who probably will be injured again. So it's all of that.
He'll be a free agent the next year. It's right. A rental.
So it's all of that combined, and that's what makes it with the value good. And then on top of that is what we saw this year. We like a third of the league was available. Quarterbacks were available. So all of that pushes his market down.
Yes,
I mean, it's a bunch of things, right? You could take into consideration, obviously, $26 million that he's going to get paid next year. And the team has to give up assets for Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Unless the Niners cut him, which John Lynch already said, we're not cutting him or releasing him. He's quote-unquote too good of a player to do that. Yeah. So the Niners, with Jimmy Garoppolo, $26 million, obviously. He's an injury-prone player. He's having shoulder surgery. He had shoulder surgery like a week or two ago. And he's probably not even going to be able to throw a football until late June, probably June, July, right? So when you look, and he's also an injury-prone player. And then like Coach Noah Johnston said, he's just an okay player. He's not anything great. He's just an okay player. That's all he is, right? So, I mean, no team really wants to give up assets for Jimmy Garoppolo. When you look at his contract, when you look at he's just an okay quarterback, and you look at he's injury-prone, right? And me and Ben went over this last week. There's no team in the NFL right now that you could say Jimmy Garoppolo is 100% upgrade over their starting quarterback. There's no team. Maybe the Lions, right? But Jared Goff is at least healthy. But there's no team that you could say Jimmy Garoppolo is really 100% better option than their starting quarterback, and he's a way better option for you to give up assets or willing to give up assets for him. So when you look at the contract, when you look at the shoulder surgery, and you look at he's just an okay quarterback on the field, no, there's more factors than just his shoulder surgery.
The fact that I don't think the shoulder is actually that big of a deal. Everyone says it doesn't matter. He's going to be fine. It was like a minor issue. I think the real issue is financial. First of all, he's not that good and he's overpaid. $27 million is more than he's worth. And if you trade for him, it's a 1-year rental. There's no guarantee you'll want him a second year, or he'll want to be there a second year. So it seemed like if he had 2 or 3 years left on his deal and he was making $15 million a year, you could trade him. But considering what he's getting paid and the length of his contract, I don't think a team would offer more than a 6th-round pick. Why would you make – it's just getting more and more expensive. I could see the Steelers wanting Jimmy Garoppolo and being like, you know what, Trubisky will be his backup. But they're not going to trade a 2nd-round pick for a year of Jimmy just to spend all that money. I think it's way more complicated, and I don't expect the Niners to get this. I think the Niners, for whatever reason, are really intent on getting something back for Jimmy, and they know they can get a 3rd-round comp pick for him just by holding on to him for a year. And I think they're refusing to get anything less than that, and that means that I don't see a team offering a day 2 pick next year for 1 year of Jimmy Garoppolo in 2022. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So I think he's here to stay unless they cut him, and they said they won't. So that brings me to my next question.
Grant, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't know that I would even trade anything for him with this contract. I don't want him on my roster with this contract. I'll take him if you cut him and sign a new deal, but with the cap and how you can roll things over, why I would rather just roll that salary over and then sign Mitch Trubisky for,
Yes.
Obviously his contract, but then even next year, right? Let's say a team trades a 2nd or whatever for him, he could get hurt next year also.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Knowing Jimmy Garoppolo,
Same
he could get
position they're
hurt
in now.
next year.
Right.
In position, he gets hurt, and then the team is like, all right, we gave up assets for him, and now he's not even playing because he has a sprained ankle and he's going to be out for like 8 weeks or something like that. So why would a team want to give up assets for him with his contract, like Coach Noah Johnson said? And then obviously because he could obviously get hurt next year. So
it's like I can see the Niners in their last ditch attempt to trade Jimmy. Some teams like, all right, we'll give you a 7th, and they're like, well, we could just keep him and get a conditional 3rd, and they're like, a compensatory 3rd next year, and they'll be like, all right, we'll keep him then. Do that. Screw your team up. Anyway, I'd like to see that game of chicken. It's going to be interesting.